Hello, everyone. Once again, a very blessed Sunday. I know a lot of you are celebrating, you know, Easter. Everybody is having their special celebration. So it's a privilege to be here once again. I don't take it for granted. I thank my Lord for saving me. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us here at Practical Talk. Today we have a very important topic that we are dealing with, or let me say, we are talking about. It's going to be on self care. But please do me a favor by sharing this program right now. Do me a favor by sharing this program because I believe it's going to benefit quite a lot of people. So kindly please do share this program, and your sharing makes a difference. It helps my page, and also follow this page if you're joining us for the first time. I wanted to introduce myself before we go, just for those who are new. I am a minister in word and song. As you can see, the second thing on this list is what I am doing right now. I am a chat show host. I do events both online. I am an event host both online and in person. I'm also a speaker and an author of two books. Now, if you would like to appear on this program, kindly do not hesitate to contact me, florislyman@gmail.com, and the telephone number is on there. Right? So, like I said, we are here today for a very important program that we are talking about is on mind, body, and soul, the importance of self-care for women. Actually, talking about this, hopefully, maybe for the next program, I will have to bring a gentleman on board to talk about self care, about men, just to balance this, very well. Well, it's a privilege and an honor for me to bring a wonderful woman who I have met just in around about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But ever since, I connected with her. I've connected with her via ministry. But also, she is a professional, but I'm going to let her introduce herself. And I believe in a lot of the things that she does. And I know she cares for the well being of people. I've seen her function in that role on several occasions. So today I have the opportunity of having Pastor Mrs. Ellen Francis, and I know she's a psychiatric nurse by profession. But I'm going to bring her on to finish introducing. I'm going to bring her on so that she can finish introducing herself to us viewers. So over to you, Pastor Ellen. Introduce yourself to the viewers. Thank you for making yourself available for us today. Over to you.
All right. Thank you, woman of God. God bless you. Thank you for inviting me to this wonderful platform. I'm so grateful and I'm not taking it for granted. I appreciate you and I honor you, and God will honor you too. Thank you. My name is Helen Francis, or you can call me Pastor Helen Francis. I'm a mental health nurse, and I'm also a counselor. So that's my name. So today we are talking about self care. We're talking about self-care, or you want me to continue, woman of God, or just introduction?
Thank you. It looks like you're ready to go. That's what I like. That's what I like. Thank you very much. So we are moving straight. Actually, Madam Ellen, if you don't mind me, Nurse Helen, yeah, Nurse Helen. Since you're acting in that profession as well, um, why did you study psychiatry? If you don't mind me asking, why did you study psychiatry?
Mm. I always say it's a long story, but I'll just shorten it. Um, I love caring for people. I particularly when somebody is vulnerable. Generally in my life, I don't like. I don't want. I can't bear staying around somebody who another person can take advantage of. I don't like it. Okay, that is part of me. You, no matter what, you, no matter, for example, you see some people because they have a little bit of disability, people will just look down on them or talk to them anyhow. I can't tolerate that. So when I went into nursing, and the school I went to, the way they do their program is that in your first year, whether you come in as a general nurse or as a mental health, you have to first of all use that first year to go through all the nursing setting, like learning disability, mental health, general nursing. You have to go all round to go and study. Therefore, when I went to mental health, I now realized that okay, this is the place I want to be. This is the place I want to be. That's when I choose. But generally, going to nursing is because of the heart to care for people. That's where I went in there.
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing. Sometimes just curious to find out why, somebody went into doing something. Wow. Wow. Because when somebody hears that name, psychiatric nurse, you know what goes straight into people's minds. Somebody say, "Oh wow, you have mind to do, you have the mind to do that kind of a job," because obviously it has to do with our mental health and things like that. So well done for what you do, and I pray that you will continue to have the strength and the fortitude to look after those people who are vulnerable. Thank you so much. So we are moving on to our main topic for today, self-care and the importance of self-care. So if you want to take us through, my first question will be, how do you, for the benefit of some people, because for all you know, some people don't even know what it means, how will you define self-care? That's the first question. And also, why do you think it's particularly important for women? So how will you define self-care, and why do you think self-care is important, particularly for women?
Self care, as it is, just like we say, just as the word sound, self care, meaning that the care that you do for yourself. So self care is basically taking time to take care of yourself, being intentionally or be intentional about caring for yourself. That is self care. So if I want to look at more other things that I put down, is self care is empowering. Self care allow you to recharge. So that is self care. You intentionally create time for your own self, not for others, but for your own self. And then the second question you said, why is it important? Why is it important for women? For women, the society has in the first place made us to know that as women, there are a lot of things we do in the house or we do generally. In fact, they will say it that a woman we can do 10 things at a time. And that is true. That's our life. You have baby in your hand, whether you just had a baby, you have baby in your hand, you are using one hand to, in fact, you can use your neck to hold your phone while you are using another hand to stir food on the cooker. You are using your leg to open door. This is what we do, is our life. Is our life. So as women, we have many hats that we wear. We do so many things. So it is important for us to sit down one at a point and decide to care for ourselves. We need it just for us to refuel and for us to recharge and for us to move on so that we don't burn out.
Wow, thank you very much for explaining that. Thank you very, very much. So, can you what will you say um are some of the common challenges? Why are we struggling as women, you know, to prioritize self-care? Because when you look at yourself as a woman, like you just said, there are just lots of things that we can do. I normally say I have 1,001 things to do. you know. And sometimes you wonder after you finish, you're thinking, Lord, how did I do this? And even other people around you can ask you, how do you do this? But in the midst of it all, it looks like we struggle to prioritize. I say, if you have children, prioritize husband, prioritize putting food on the table, prioritize even others. If you are in a ministry, you prioritize others. We know, that's part of our calling, to be there. We are shepherding a flock. If you are in business, you're prioritizing your clients, you're running up and down. Yet still, we struggle to prioritize looking after ourselves, that self care. Why do you think that's the case? What are some of the challenges we face when trying to prioritize ourselves? What stops us, again, to prioritize self care?
Mm. As women, I think we have this nurturing um inbuilt, or biologically we are built that way to care for others. As women, we care for people, and in caring for people, we when it gets to the time to care for ourselves, we are thinking, oh, should I do that? Should I not do that? We feel guilty. So guilt is one of the challenges that we face in caring for ourselves. You see back home, you see mothers. This one I've seen when I'm growing up. Like some mother that are struggling, they are struggling. Maybe they prepare food for themselves and the children. Let's assume, for example, it's just only one meat in the pot. You will see this mother, she will not touch that meat. Instead, she will be pushing it towards her children because of this nurturing kind of biological built up that we have. So when we start to care for ourselves, we feel guilty. Oh, uh, I haven't done this. Why will I do this for myself? For example, you rather say, oh, I have 20 pounds, instead of using this 20 pounds to go to McDonald's and sit down and care for myself. Oh, I will cook food for my children. So these are part of the challenges we face. And sometimes it could be financial constraint. There's not enough money. So because of that, in fact, there might be money, but because you have not prioritized the money, you have not put yourself as part of those that will spend the money. So you look at it that there's no money. So it's like there's no money, even if there's no money, even if there's money, you are thinking, instead of me taking this to go and chill out somewhere, I would rather use it at home because of this nurturing. So how you overcome this is, number one, this guilt, take it off. You have to not tell yourself that it is when you feel good. It is when you are together. It is when you are psychologically put together and physically good that you can care for others. If you can say that to yourself, then you will overcome the challenge that you have of not taking care of yourself. Or if you say time, where will I have that time? You have to now tell yourself, because we're talking about self-care now. Speak to yourself, reflect to yourself that no matter what time I have to add my own time, schedule my own time to the time I have to care for others. So I don't know if I've answered your question in that way.
Wow, you just said something, and I remember just 2 days ago I was having this conversation with someone very close to me. We were just talking about our health, and you know, the person was saying to me how financially um, she was not able to do something she needed to do regarding her head because she had to put food on the table. And I said to I was saying to her, look, if anything happens to you, your husband will still survive. Anything happens to you, your children will still survive. So please, you have to do what you have to do. And talking about especially in some places where we know that there is little opportunity, it is common for us as mothers, you know, to prioritize other things other than ourselves. When you look at those factors, financial, hunger, you know, but just think about it, like you said, if you are not strong enough, how are you going to be able to to look. So we have to prioritize, and let's not be guilty about it. Like Selena said, let's not feel guilty about it. It is a priority to look after ourselves. Thank you so much for sharing that. So tell us, what are some of the practical self-care tips? Because somebody is saying, especially if it has to do with money, somebody is saying, maybe somebody is saying, if that's the case, I won't be able to prioritize myself because I don't have money. We know money is important, but we know you don't need money necessarily, to look after yourselves. There are other things that you can do naturally, not necessarily financially, naturally, emotionally, spiritually, you know. Um, what actually, before we come to that question, when we're talking about this self-care, I know both of us here, we have ministries where we function. We spoke about challenges, for example, for the lay woman. What about us? For example, as a pastor's wife, or as a leader, a woman leader in the church, or a woman that's running their own ministry. Why are we forsaking ourselves? What are the challenges? Can you please touch on that, because this might benefit, people in the different categories.
Mm. As a minister of God, if I get that question right, um, I think we have to. I think we have to tell ourselves that we are not immortal. We are mortal body, because sometimes as minister of God, we want to. We are. It's part of guilt. You just want to do more and more, thinking that you are not doing enough. Recently, I was just telling my husband. I said, because I used to have this burden of, oh, church, this, that. It was just bothering me. I just said to my husband one day, I just said, I'm not going to kill myself. Oh. Let church do itself. After all, Jesus Christ said he will be the church and the gate of hell will not prevail. This burden of today, people you need to care for this person. Tomorrow this person is saying something different, and you am I doing the right thing? Am I caring for them? Where am I speaking to them? When you finish in church, you are thinking, did I speak to this one properly? When I went to speak to this, I hope this one will not think I overlook. So I just said to myself one day, I said, I don't care. They didn't come for me. They didn't come for us. And we are not God. We are not going to put blood down. Like Jesus was the one that died for the whole world. We are not going to die anymore. And now I want to put my heart at rest. It's caring for yourself, knowing that you are not going to kill, you are not going to die for somebody else. And you are not carrying the guilt, whether somebody say you didn't greet them well. At a point, I will just use this as an example for myself. When we just started church, I was a fashion designer then. I wasn't nurse. I was fashion designer. I had shop in the past, two shop in the past. And generally the way I dress, I like to dress colorfully. Thank God I even wear this one now. At least as I'm talking, it will relate. I like to dress colorfully or dress fine and come to church. Until I was told that a member was telling me that, oh, I would dress like a peacock to church. I don't care whether people are eating. The thing bothered me. I changed. I started coming to church in a different way. I can't. I didn't dress. I stopped dressing the way I was dressing. Until some people begin to challenge me. Pastor Eileen, what happened? Why are you dressing like that? And I said to myself, you can't please nobody. Oh. So I'm not going to kill myself for anybody. I changed. I started dressing the way I'm dressing. I used to dress. I started dressing the way I normally dress, and I dress to church. So let them know that you are not God and you can't kill yourself for nobody. You can't kill, you can only do what you can do. And not everything that you even do for people that they even know that you are doing, because you're not going to do for A and come and tell B that this is what I did for A. So just be yourself, take care of yourself. I think that will be enough for that one, for that answer.
I'm just looking at the comment section. Thank you. Thank you, Lady Joy. You know, this conversations we are having today is for everybody. It's for you, the mother. It's for you, a wife. It's for you, the woman in business. It's for you, the woman at work. It's for you, the woman, in ministry. So this thing of the dressing business, you just touched that. I see everybody just jumping on it. As a Joy says, "Wow, woman of God, you just nailed it." Doctor also says, "You cannot please everybody. Jesus is the one that died for all." Yeah, that really touched me. That's one area of self care we need to manage what people say about us. Are we now going to step out? We should know what we want. We should know the boundaries that we are not supposed to cross. We should know, so we have to be mindful how we manage what people say. Is that not going to change us or control us? No, as long as we are working in the best possible way that we can. And I touched on this topic because many women in ministry are suffering from burnout. Many women in the ministry are worn out. Sometimes you hear husbands complaining. Will be tell you, if your husband is not too functional in the church, they won't understand your level of service. So many women are really struggling. Then you have this, and you have family, you have children to do. So it's all about us managing. Anything happens, the church belongs to God. God wants us to sacrifice, but He does not want us to now come and kill yourself unnecessarily, to step out of the way, doing all sort of things to please our church members. We have to be balanced. And church members, please, let's be mindful and considerate of our expectations. It's the work of ministry. It's not an easy one, but thank God for grace. We are not complaining, or we have to look after ourselves. Thank you so much. I wanted just to touch on that area because we are talking about women in all forms of life. So now, let's go back to that question now. What are some of the practical tips you can incorporate as a woman into your daily lives to help with our self-care? What are some of the practical tips? Remembering somebody thinking that, oh, it was just money. I believe if you have money, you can do some more things. But where there is no money, what are some of the practical things that we can do, whether with money or without money? Over to you.
Mm. As a as a matter of fact, self care you don't have to do. It's not necessarily have to be something gigantic. It can just be little thing, caring for yourself. And what you use to care for yourself is it differ. What I will do that I will be satisfied that I care for myself is different from what other people will do. It could just be relaxing, creating time to relax, particularly for those who have small children. When it's time for you to take care of yourself or care for yourself, you can just tell your husband to please look after the children, whether you like it or not. Please, at this time, look after the children. I want to relax. I want to care for myself. And you can just chill out in your sitting room or somewhere in your room, watch movie. You can watch movie. That is caring. That's a practical uh, tip. And then good sleep. You make sure you relax well if you have the time to relax. Any available time for those women that are nursing, they are nursing mothers. When your baby is sleeping, use that opportunity to sleep well. If the baby is sleeping, just go and use the opportunity to relax and sleep. Or it can just be little exercise. You don't have to do the full workout. You can just do like stretching, mindfulness. Mindfulness is when you sit down, you want to feel yourself. You want to feel yourself. You want to come back to yourself. You'll be giving out to people. You give the whole of your body, the whole of yourself to people. But now, mindfulness will allow you to get yourself back. Mindfulness could just be the way I sit now. You sit down and you begin to remember every part of your body. Sit down and do, maybe you sit down, your toe, you are moving your toes, you are moving it. But let your mind remember that you're moving your toe. You move from there, you go to your knee, you begin to think, how is my knee moving? Maybe you're moving your knee. You are moving it, you're thinking, okay, I'm moving my knee. Maybe if your fingernail, mindfulness now, you are moving your fingers, you are moving it. Just make sure your mind, your brain connect with that finger that you are moving. You are getting to get yourself back because you've given yourself out too much. So these little things is caring, and it goes a long way. Even your heartbeat in mindfulness, you sit down, try to think and feel your heartbeat. Some people they are having irregular heartbeat and they didn't even know. The rhythm is not going well, they didn't know. But when you do mindfulness, you relax. You can get to know that my heartbeat is beating and I can feel it. You know when your heartbeat is when it's beating, you are it's unconscious system that you don't have to know that it's working. It's just like your digestive system. It is something that will be working and you do know. If your belly is wobbly and you can feel your digestive system, something is wrong. Probably you want to have a running stomach. Normally, your digestive system will be working without you knowing. So when you are doing mindfulness, you relax, feel your try to listen to your heart. Is it beating well? So you what that is doing to you is that you are getting yourself back. You are coming to now, here and now, and reality of yourself. Because some people, in the process of giving out, before you know it, they lose their self, lose their mind, and lose everything without knowing. So that will allow you to come back to yourself. So these are little tips. So many, but these are little tips. You can put music on, relax. You can do work. You can walk around. These little things. You don't need to break a bank. But if God bless you, you have money. You can go to cinema. But if you are going to cinema, maybe family is going with you. This is part of caring for yourself now. Because some people go to cinema with family and they think they are caring for themselves. When they go with family, family is not choosing movie for them. No, you are not caring for yourself. If you want to care for yourself, maybe you are the one that initiate that outing. You have to be the one that will choose that movie. If comedy is what makes you happy, you are going to tell them we are watching comedy. If it's action movie, you are going to tell them it's action movie. It's caring for yourself if you go with family. So those are the little things that you do. You'll see you'll be satisfied. At least you know that at least this moment you have control of yourself. Not that every other person in the house is taking piece out of you. The one that's taking leg, taking hand is taking up. Now you are a choice to decide what you want. I think that will be okay.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing some of those. As you were talking, you know, yeah, it saddens me because there have been times when I've been guilty of that. Maybe not now, but maybe when my children were much younger, and I know maybe a parent is sitting there, your child is younger, and you're thinking, oh, how can I do? How can I manage? There are ways to manage. you know Go out for a fresh air, take yourself to the park. Like Nurse Ellen has said, if you have it, treat yourself. Maybe, say, today I'm just going to have a foot scrub, I'm just going to have a massage. It doesn't have to be regularly. These are different things we are talking about, so it's not the same thing. Not eating McDonald's every day. That's not what we're talking about. It's doing different things that's gonna help, even if it's 5-10 minutes. Take that time out, do some deep breathing, practice mindfulness. If you have the money, travel. Don't feel bad about it, especially for those of you working so hard. Some of us work so hard. What do? We have other responsibilities, not selling back home and in other places. And you do everything and you forget yourself. How fair is that on us? It's we have to manage, we have to balance well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. If you have it, travel once in a while. Travel. Prepare yourself, plan for it. Whatever we put our mind to do, we can achieve it. I know us as women. We can achieve things that we put our mind to. Right, this question is very, very important. Um, You talked about giving, too busy until things start going bad in your own life. Because, let me say, for example, because I've not taken time to sit down and practice mindfulness, I've not taken time to sit down and meditate, I've not taken time, I'm so busy, I've not taken time to see that I am even deteriorating. That's how bad it is. I've not taken time to even go get myself checked to the doctors. Because why? I am busy. So this question is about how self-care impact a woman's mental health and emotional well-being. Failing to prioritize our self-care, Nurse Ellen, how does this have an impact on our mental health and emotional well-being? Over to
Mm.
you. This is your area.
Mm. Is in many ways, self care can impact our mental health in many ways. For example, if you are the type that doesn't care for yourself, you don't even go to bed on time, sleep deprivation can affect your mental health. Stress, when you burn out, it can affect it. So now, if you decide to do self care for yourself, for example, you are sleeping well or you are exercising, when you exercise, there are chemicals like dopamine, endorphin that will release, serotonin, all those things that will release when exercise particularly. Exercise in any sickness, exercise is number one thing that that can make whatever that's happening to the body to regenerate. So when we talk about how we self-care enhance your mental health, so exercise is one of it. You exercise and it will enhance your mental health. It will make you to have good concentration. It will make you to sleep well, relax. Exercise is a sleep induced therapy. For maybe there's an exception. Maybe some people will say that they exercise, they become active. Maybe it's because of the time that you exercise. If you exercise too late, maybe you'll be active. Maybe you will go and exercise too late in the night. So when exercise induce all those things, that means it's making your mental, it's increasing your mental health. And also exercise can reduce anxiety, can reduce anxiety. Some people, they are agitated, maybe they've stressed themselves, they, I think they have stresses they've done that has stressed them, that has make stress hormone to to be in their body. So that will make them to be restless, agitated, and so on. So when they do exercise, when they when they do exercise, those hormones, those stress hormone will come, they will burn it out, and that will make them to be relaxed, to be calm. So all this is affecting your mental health. And when you eat well as well, when you eat well, eating well, eat good food, vegetable. I'm speaking to myself as well. When you eat, for example, when you wake up in the morning, the first food that you eat in the morning goes a long way in increasing or enhancing your mental health. You can't jump into doing fast food in the morning. In fact, study shows that when you wake up in the morning and you eat carbohydrates, it's not good for our mental state, even our physical health as well. So what we eat is very important. So all those things that we do for ourselves, care for ourselves, even when you go and Pastor Flores mentioned when you go to salon and do what do you call it, pedicure. That alone, yeah, that alone, I do it sometimes. I do it sometimes. I will just go and sit down there and scrub my leg properly. And when I come home, I feel light somehow. I don't know. This our brain, the way it works. You have to know how it works for you to sometimes believe what we are talking about. Do you know that if I enter my room, I take care of my room, I clean my room, wash my clothes, change this thing, the way my mood will just change. When I'm feeling down, sometimes the next thing I'm thinking is I want to tidy up my room. All these things help. It's self-care. You care for yourself. If you see somebody that have mental issue, you see them that they would leave their room, everything they will just pile up things there. All those there's this mental health issue we call what do you call it? This is the hoarding. When you hoard things, if you can help them to pack this thing away, you'll be surprised how they are moved. That this is how God made it. I don't sometimes you cannot even say this is how it works, but it works. Your mental, your mood will just rise up. So these are the little things that we do that enhances our mental health and our well-being.
Wow. You know, oh, God help us. Because there are times when I do make some effort, but there are times I wish I can. I'm praying that I can make more effort because as we are growing younger, it is very, very necessary. We cannot do things the old same way. You know, when you were talking about food, sometimes, to be honest, especially as women, if we have a look and we take a look at our feet, you're wondering as if, and some of us, I can understand even those working on a farm, with no disrespect, because if you're working on a farm, because of constantly in water, and again, some people lack just the basic amenities to be able to look after themselves well. But you're talking about some people that live in this part of Europe and stuff, it's like, you know, have a good scrub, get a stone. Even back home, people use stones. People use stones. So these things we are talking about, it's really, really practical. Lady Charlene is laughing there. It's really, really practical, and it's the simple things we are talking about. It's not that it has to be much. When you can afford, you can do great things, but we are talking about the simple things. Thank you so much, Nurse Helen. So you started talking about this already anyway. You just mentioned some, but let's see if there is more. In what ways can self-care practices empower women and enhance their overall quality of life? You started touching on it already. By practicing self-care on a regular, let me say on a conscious basis, how can this impact our overall quality of life? You started touching on it. You just finish off.
Yeah. Yes, as I said, I've started. I think we women we have to understand ourselves. In fact, we have to know that we really need it. For example, what about our monthly flow alone? Is enough for us to say, I need to take care of myself. I remember my girls, they've grown now. My last one is 22 and the other girl is 25. I remember when they were teenager. This is self-care. And I realized that they will be what do I call it now? They will be so selfish that they will not go and buy vitamins for themselves because they were teenager, like maybe 18, 16 or so, like that. I have to go to the market and buy this tin. Can't remember now where I used to use the one they call Well Woman, and I buy the one that is teenager, teen Well Woman, something like that. I will buy it for them. It's called self care. I have let them know now that this is part of how you care for yourself. This monthly flow that comes out of you alone can drain you. That alone can even drain you. You see some women to even know that I want to say it in a way that is not offensive. Okay, let me put this way that you see some women that even have the money. They have the money because we know that some people financially is difficult and they see what they want, and because it's financially difficult they can't do it. But you see some people, they have this money, they are just being not caring for themselves, and they will not buy the right thing. So what we eat sometimes, buy the right thing, buy it, eat well. Yes, it's expensive, eat it. Recently when we had all this diet lady that talk about nutrition or this thing, they came and they talked to us. And my husband came and my husband said, we have to be practicing it, we have to be eating well. Because you particularly that you're crying that you want to see you want to grow old and see your grandchildren. So we went out and we were doing this shopping and we see this oil because the lady said we should not be buying the groundnut oil, vegetable oil, kinikon oil. So we bought this thing that is like this for 15 pounds. This what oil is that? This I don't know if it's anoint. It look like anointing oil,
Olive oil.
olive oil. It's like this. So I said, let us buy it. Let us take care of ourselves. We want to grow. We want to grow old and see our children. So be conscious of yourself and be and intentionally wanting to take care of yourself. So these are part of what you do as a woman. And as a woman, you've given birth to many children. Some have given birth to many children. So you need to recoup, you need to refill yourself. And then because of our nature, because of what we do a lot of things. Do you know that recently I have to like say that if the kitchen is dirty, because I have this anxiety about kitchen being dirty, my children will tell me the only thing I know is about my kitchen. If I'm coming back from work, my uniform will be on me. I'm tidying up kitchen. Sometimes coming on the road, I'm texting. I hope my kitchen is good because we have a group. We are five in the family, three children, and my husband and myself. We have this WhatsApp group. I'll put it there. I hope my kitchen is clean. Now I just say, and some of them they will pretend as if they didn't see that too. And then I will come out after 12-hour shift. If you do long day, I'll not begin to one day I just say, if you like, let the thing reach silly. I'm not going to kill myself. This is part of taking care of yourself. And when they go there, they see it dirty, they will go and clean it. When their friend is coming in, they rush and clean it. So be intentional that I want to take care of myself. I don't want to die young. These children will live if you die. You understand what I mean? So be intentional about what you do for yourself to make you look good. Even this making up, look at me. I'm going to be 57 in October. It's called follow up. Follow up is also self care. Follow up is you make up and do follow up your body. You've given birth and the body is wearing out. Put it together. It's caring for yourself. Hallelujah.
Oh, I love this one. I really, really love this. I really love this. Thank you so much. The part of ignoring some things sometimes, because like you said, that's your OCD. And some of us have OCDs. If things are not done in a particular way, Charlene says she's going to the hairdressers. Okay, yeah, that's one thing you love, isn't it? Going to the hairdressers. I was just asking the viewers, Dr. Osa, what do you practice for self care? Give us one example. Lady Joy. Charlene looks like she loves to go to the hairdresser. It's like we say, it's the simple things. But you were talking about overlooking certain things. Sometimes you just have to let go. And if you need to come in, because I have that, my husband said to me, "You've just walked into the house, you're straight in the kitchen, you don't," because like you said, something is just part of our natural make. I prefer coming in, just getting things done. Then when I finish, that's when I go. He looks at me, he's like, "How do you do this?" You know, and he will tell me, "Leave it and go sit down. Leave it and go sit down. Can you not do?" It's always, "Can you not do this later?" You know. So someone, yes, Dr. Osa says she likes the spa. I was just that was my next question actually, but I know Selena shared examples already. Using live scenarios. There was a time, I was driven away from the house to go. I went to stay somewhere else for the whole day, so that I didn't have to touch anything. In fact, I loved it so much. I was complaining when my husband said to me, "Today I'm booking you. You go and spend the night in a hotel. Just be." Hey, I was complaining. See me, oh, I was complaining. I didn't want to leave the house. I was complaining. I said, tomorrow is Sunday. I have to do. Why don't I do it on Monday? He just looked at me. He said, "Look at you." But guess what? When I went, that's when my body started settling down. I paid for a few more hours. The next day I was returning. I'm like, I didn't want to leave. I started enjoying it. I'm like, wow. Then see me, I was complaining even when the offer was made. It's that bad that we are so busy We don't pay attention to ourselves. Women, ladies, it is necessary for our mental well being. It is very necessary so that we are not running out, we are not burning out. We've given few examples here. This is reality, and we have to talk about it. You spoke about us touching up simple things like touching yourself up. It doesn't have to be too much. For those of us experiencing, I say to people, I'm in that stage where I'm experiencing menopause. Somebody might say, oh, you look too young now. I will be 50 by God's grace next year, but I'm proper experiencing the menopause. And that's another area where if we don't look after ourselves well, boy oh boy, you just struggle as a woman experiencing a menopause. Self-care in that area is so important. The little vitamins you spoke about, and eating well, because what we do, some of us will spend on shoe. Again, it's not wrong, because everybody loves what they spend their money on. But let's not just focus on the material outside. We also need to help ourselves nutritionally. Eat sometimes, you might not like cucumber, but maybe you might like carrot. Eat carrot. Add some carrot to your meal. It's very important. Again, people back home, as much as there is financial challenge, but there is fresh food. There is fresh food. We have the Italians who believe that wine, if you're talking about olive oil, wine, olive oil, all those things help to keep them longer. That's why they put wine, olive oil in all their food when they are cooking. It's there. And let's not forget, wine is made of grapes. Most of the natural ones is fermented and made from grapes and some other kind of fruits. So these are practical things that we are sharing. you know um is there any other thing you wanted to add to this? Because I think we've spoken more than enough and we need to practice. I think we're going to come back at some point. I know Noceline is very busy, but maybe we'll come back at some point just to review and ask questions that since after this show, have we been paying attention to our bodies? This is important. There is no point in us saying these things, then we are not doing it. By God's grace, we'll be alive because we are looking after ourselves, and God will do the rest for us. So is there any last thing you want to add onto this, Noceline? Over to you.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it from my side? I think internet issue. Okay. The last thing I would say is that we are talking about self-care. Um, it is very important. Let us be serious about it. I know, when we say something, just like we are pastors, just like we preach and we say, of the world is our self-care is very important for our mental health, our physical health. When you do proper, or you are so faithful with your self-care, there's an area where you can reduce physical health issue. The area where you can stop or prevent physical issue, and then we have where it can reduce mental health issue or prevent mental health issue is very important. Then, as a woman, what you touch about menopause, let me just use that because it's we women that do experience menopause. Start preparing for your menopause. Start preparing. Oh my God, I went through my menopause. As a matter of fact, I was going to go through my menopause. I didn't even know that some of the symptoms I'm going through is menopause issue. Do you know that since 2002 or 2 October till early this year, I was at home. I didn't go to work because I have joint issue. And then because I have arthritis that they have diagnosed in the past, rheumatoid arthritis. So it just mimic it. So I just believe is rheumatoid arthritis. But this time around, they told me when they look at it, they say it's not rheumatoid arthritis, is osteoarthritis, meaning that something has went out. So one of my leg just became stiff and bent. My joint, my shoulder, different kinds of painkiller I was taking until I come to realize that menopause can make you to have ache all over your body. Menopause can make you add weight. I was adding weight, and that weight was even affecting my joints. So what I'll say is part of caring for yourself as a woman or women that will definitely experience menopause is for you to start preparing for your menopause. Start preparing for it. One, how do you prepare? Somebody will ask, how do you prepare for it? One, by trying to lose some weight before you get there. Because by the time that weight will come, hmm, start reducing your weight before it. Mine started from 49. When I was 49, it started. Start preparing. And then take vitamins, because some people will experience this heavy flow from nowhere that you'll be thinking, what is this? You think maybe some meat are just tearing from your stomach and be dropping down. Buy vitamin, use vitamin at that time. It might be expensive. I don't Some vitamin are not too expensive, just spend to take care of yourself. Start, if you can swim, start swimming now to easy those joints in case you're going to be one of those who will experience weight and joint issue. There's this vitamin that I spend money on. It's about 300 pounds. It's called, I'm not advertising for them. It's called, I'm not even selling it. It's called fruit juice. Fruit juice. So somebody told me and I bought it and I tried it and I see that it's good in my body, but I stopped because it's too expensive. I'm not going to buy it. It's too expensive. This is part of not caring for ourselves as well. If it's working for me and I know that my body is doing somehow, this is vitamins, not, but there's a way it's being done. So I spend money. So now I buy it regularly. When I want to buy it, let council tax stay there. I'm going to buy it too. I just tell the man, your council tax is there. Oh. Me, I'm not touching it. Because I'm buying my vitamins. Finish this time around, I have to buy it. And it really helped when I was taking all those different kinds of painkiller. No ordinary painkiller. I'm talking about serious painkiller. When I take it, it's like my body. It's like something is eating me up. I can feel some radiation inside my body when I'm taking it, and when I'm not taking that vitamin. Some radiation, like I see somebody is on chemotherapy. But when I start taking this vitamin, I don't feel it. To be frank, I don't feel it. Since then, I said to myself, that bill will wait. This is for my body now, and I have to buy it. So it's part of caring for ourselves. So prepare for your menopause as a woman that will experience it. And if you are still in the period of childbearing, take vitamins, buy it, eat good food. It's part of, because we don't want to break down. It is difficult. They say the prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. Let us prevent it. There are so many preventable uh, diseases or conditions that is happening to people because we did not prevent it. Then secondly, we are in a country, because when you said this topic and I was studying, and there's something I read and I said to myself, Ellen, you are going to talk this thing now. There's something you'll be doing now that you're supposed to do that you haven't done. This country, they will send something to us randomly, come and do this test. Maybe it's your smell test. Woman of God, have you gone? Oh, you are there. Okay. This country, they will send something to us randomly. Sometimes they'll say, come and do a breast, what's called scan. I'll do it. But there's one particular one that they have sent since for a long period. I just left it there. This one, they will test your stool. Now, when you send this self-care, and I realize that these are the medical, if you need to access medical, do it on time as women. It will prevent a lot of things. as women. There are some things that women experience. So when they send for cancer, go and do the screening. When they call for your smear test, go and do it. When they remind you, go and do it. Don't say, I'm going to do overtime today. No. Self-care is being intentional. Leave that, what's it called? What do they call it? The one they do after their normal hour. Over time. Leave it. Go and do it. It will prevent a lot. I think that's the advice I can give. Mm. As
You've just touched on. It just felt like we just started the program. You just touched on a lot of things. You just touched on the medical side as well. Let's not be too busy to go do our checks. If they call you, we are privileged. Some of us that find ourselves here, we are privileged because I know where I came from. I have to go and physically be running after a doctor. You have to find the money to go and do it. But here we are reminded, if you're living in Europe, you get your letters to go do your check. Some of us sometimes we are scared to go get checked because we don't want to be diagnosed with anything. Fine, at least it's good to know what you're praying about. For us believers, it's good to know what you're praying about for. You know, please go do your checks, do your blood counts, do your checks. All that is part of caring for ourselves because if we are not well, how can we be getting up to go and do what we need to do? All this up and down, the strength that we need. Yes, there is grace, but let's not abuse grace. You know, with regards to menopause, by God's grace, I think we need to come and have that discussion properly. Properly. Because I know what I've gone through. I thank God by now I am wiring my brain that it's a season that I'm going through and I'm managing myself how to go through it and still not lose my mind and not lose my joy. Because that's a whole ball game on its own when we were talking about mental health. So I am planning that we'll have a discussion on menopause. It's going to be mind blowing, and I believe it will help a lot of people, especially those, like you said, it's good to just look out for it. You might experience it, you might not, because I've had some women said they've not experienced it at all. So, but it is beneficial. Just so, like you said, you are going through the symptoms and you never knew, So it's nice to have the conversation. So when people start having some of these symptoms, they will not say, I've read about it or I've listened to, I've heard about it. Okay, thank you so much, man of God. I know you have other things that you do. I want us to have a look at her books. She has a book, Stop Being a Victim. Stop Being a Victim. Stop Being a Victim. She's the author of this book. Just tell us in 2 minutes, the reason behind this book.
mm, stop being a victim. Oh my God. Mm. As a mental health nurse, do you know that I've seen many people being admitted because they were abused? And I've seen people that have come over and over like a revolving door. And I ask myself, how did you get here? How do you get to this point of losing your mind because of abuse? Can you not stop it? Can you not speak out? Can you not cry for help? You can actually stop it. Do you know that the bully will not voluntarily, is it the bully of the bully, the one that abuses the bully, isn't it? They cannot voluntarily stop it. Why? Because of the power of control over you, because the power they have over you, and somehow they derive some joy that they have power over you. And then having power over you again looks intoxicating as well. So they will come over and over to abuse you, particularly when you accept it, when you tolerate it. They will do it more and more because you tolerate it. What is stopping you? Why can't you say no to abuse? Why can't you speak out? Why do you have to lose your mind Why do you have to be depressed because of abuse? Then I come to realize not everybody even knows what abuse, the sign and the form is. They are being abused that they don't even know it is an abuse and they don't speak out. And some people is because of what the society say. And I'm thinking, society has grown. Society is aware of what we call abuse. If it's marriage and you are thinking, I don't want to move out of this marriage because of stigma, because the society will say I have left my marriage, because the society will not believe me when I say I am being abused. And this culture, my culture will say, what is abuse? You are you are just a typical African woman or a complete housewife or wife. So it's not an abuse, but society is aware. Society has been questioned about this, the way they think. As a matter of fact, society is thinking differently because what is society? It is we now. That is society. Society is thinking differently now. Society know what abuse is now. Society will believe you when you speak. Society is even questioning culture, because culture and belief is not doing society well. What is culture? Culture is the belief of those people that live before us, what they believe in. But because they believe in that does not mean it was right. Now we are thinking differently. So I put all those things down for people to know what abuse is and actually tell them that you can speak out. You can stop being a victim. You yourself is the one that can stop being a victim. The bully will not automatically stop. For example, if it's financial abuse, because of the enjoyment of the money the person is collecting from you, the person will not stop. He will not voluntarily say, oh, let me stop collecting money. And don't
Thank you. You, I don't want you to give everything. Don't give everything. Viewers, please go and get a copy of this book. Is it on Amazon?
yes, it's on Amazon.
Please take a snapshot, and these are some of the way you can support us. Some of what we are doing here, some people go and pay lots of money for it, but we have been called, to put ourselves online just to reach out to people. This platform is creating awareness, is informative, and it is educative. It is uplifting, and it inspires, it motivates. So go and get this book. This is part of self care. If you're being abused, boy oh boy, you need to take control of your self care. You need to prioritize. You cannot be abused. Stop being a victim of abuse in
Mm.
various forms. So please support this woman of God. Go and buy a copy of this book. Be a blessing to your friends as well, because this thing called abuse, it is real. So I don't want her to give everything away. Go and get the book and reach out to her. She is on Facebook as well. She is on Facebook, Helen Francis. You can reach out to her, connect with her. She's involved in a lot of conferences, a lot of talks. If you like her to partake in your women's event, reach out to her. I'm pretty sure she will be happy to come and just share, because she is well seasoned in that sense. So this is your other book. Again, 2 minutes, don't give everything. Let's support her by getting a copy. You can actually send her a message so she can send you a copy that she has physically signed, if you don't want to get it from Amazon.
Okay. Okay, woman of God. Born for a purpose, self set on a journey. This is my first book. This one, I wrote this one. I was going through issue of my life then, and was it 2000 and I was going through issue in 2017, right? I went through what's it called? Eviction. My family went through eviction, and it was tough. It was tough for us in November, and then we crossed to 2018, and because we lost our mortgages, three property went. Hmm. So it was tough. And I was thinking, I thought my life was ending. I was looking at my three children like it was terrible. And I'm like, is that how my, I don't know why I was thinking that way. Maybe I was going down mentally that is making me to think that way. And I'm like, is this how my life is going to end? Then somebody just came to me and said to me, no, it's not. You are born for a purpose. You can't just be born and go through issue and just go like that. And one question again, a boy asked me again that, is this life? Is this how we live life? We come, we struggle. I don't want to mention who asked me that. I think it's because of the struggle as well. This is how we struggle and go. I just sat down one day on the bed because where the council put us, we just put our mattresses on top of each other, and everything was a lot of our things are in the storage, and so many things are also in the place where we were. So I just called my son and said, "Go and look for my laptop for me." He said, "Ah, it will be buried somewhere." I said, "Go and look for it. Go and bring it out of that wherever it's buried," and brought it. I just open it. I just open Microsoft Word, and I just write. At first, I say I am born for a purpose. Then I remove I am, and I say born for a purpose. And I say this is my journey. This is part of my journey. I'm going somewhere. Born for a purpose, set on a journey. So the book is just about you have something to deliver. Whatever you are going through, it's just a journey. You are born for a reason, and you are not just going to waste like that. That's it. I
Wow. Wow. You've just given me another topic again. So already I have two topics to cover now. Menopause and born for a purpose. Wow. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing session with you. Viewers, I believe, please give her the thumbs up, give her the thumbs up, give her the likes, and please share this video if you're on WhatsApp, if you're on YouTube, please share, forward this video. If you're on Facebook, forward this video. Um, Thank you so much. I muted myself. Thank you so much for spending time with us today, viewers. I believe this has been such an inspiring session. Um, we really look forward to having you on many other occasions. Thank you so much. Really appreciate, ladies, women. May the Lord help us. The Lord has already helped us. He is our helper. But may we also help ourselves. We cannot give what we do not have. So let's do every little that we can to look after ourselves. Women, mothers, the businesswoman, the woman, the professional woman, the woman in ministry. Let us do all we can to look after ourselves. It's very, very important. Oh, thank you so much, Madam Eileen, for being with us. So please go and get a copy of her book. They are all on Amazon. You can reach out to her, I believe, if you want a signed copy also. So, thank you very much for those of us on Facebook watching us. Please follow my page, Practical Talk. Follow this page. And also, if you're on YouTube, please do subscribe to my channel. It just helps me to customize this channel very well. And thank you very much for joining us today. Have a great week ahead. Celine, thank you so much,
bless
woman of
you.
God. God
God
bless
bless
you.
you. I appreciate you. Love
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you. Dr. Osa says thank you for this enlightenment. Lady Charlene Osebafu says very powerful. She's been enjoying you since. She says she
God
likes
bless you,
you.
everyone.
Lady Naomi
I wish
says
I could
thanks
say,
for
I wish I
talking.
could see you. God bless you all. Love you
Yeah.
all.
Thank you. Thank you, Lady Martha. Martha self, give yourself a treat. Martha, thank you
Mm.
so much. Thank you, Pastor Joy. Thank you for all of your contributions. Well, have a blessed week ahead. God bless you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.